Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Hernandez Olivieri, and today we're going to work on error analysis of a text. This is the text we're going to work on. This is a second semester student written production, and we're going to focus in the mistakes and errors the student has made. Also, we are going to correct them to detect the type and the source of the error. And finally, we are going to find a remediation to them. So let's jump into it. For regards to mistake, there is only one mistake in the test, which is she liked writing and draw. It is found in the line 12, and it is an orthographic mistake because in this case the student wrote in a wrong way the verb written, which is just with one T. And morphosyntactic mistake because the mistake is inside a sentence, and morphosyntactic because we are dealing with morphemes, more than one morpheme, which in this case is written. Uh, so that is why it is morphosyntactic. It is a mistake because actually the student knows the rule. The student knows that after the verb like, it is possible to write the next verb with ing instead of using to before the verb. So the student can notice the mistake he or she made and correct it. So maybe it was a lapsus that the student forgot to write the ing after draw uh, and wrote in a wrong way the the verb written. In the remediation, all the feedback is going to be formal because it is going to be a schedule in order to improve or to help the students to improve with the time. So in this case, the remediation would be provide a list of verbs in order to know after which ones it is possible to continue with ing. With this verb, the student won't have more problems with this kind of topic and will also learn how to write some verbs. Now, regards to errors, we are going to focus first of all in these two errors, which are similar. They are found in the first and the sixth line. The first mistake error is my favorite movie is cold, uh, and the correct way to write it is my favorite movie is cold. In this case, who committing the shooting, and the correct way to write it is who committed the shooting. We know that it is an error because the student made the same mistake more than once. So the mistake is that the student is not writing the verb in past tense. So we know that is an error. They are intralingual mistakes because it is not related to other languages, and it is an inadequate learning. Maybe the student didn't learn the rule or haven't learned the rule. It is a morphosyntactic mistake because, as I've mentioned before, the error is inside the sentence. It is also a grammatical error because the student is not using the grammatics, and the only difference is that this one is orthographic too, because in this case the verb shooting is written in a wrong way. In the remediation, we find here to explain the expression and why it is wrong, and to explain the past simple rules and the correct way to write the verbs. These two remediations are uh, um, for introducing the students into the topic and uh, to what to start using this topic. Also, to write different sentences with the same expression. It is going to help the student to mechanize the rule and do not forget when to use it. And finally, book exercises to strengthen the knowledge toward the topic. It is because the purpose is to use different material to learn something and to find the best way to learn of the student. Here in line 8, we found Rachel Scott was a girl-friendly, loyal, and good friend. It is interesting because it is an interlingua mistake. Why? Because the student is ignoring the rule, and the student is just thinking that it is good because in its mother tongue, uh, the noun goes uh, before the subject, but in English, the noun goes after the subjects. So it is an error because the student is not paying attention to the rule and probably doesn't know it. It is a syntactic mistake because it affects the complete sentence, and it is a grammatical mistake because the rule is not applied. In the remediation, we found to explain the rule with a video because it is going to be more interactive. Online exercise to mechanize the rule because as it is a specific error, uh, through online resources, it is going to be easier to find more exercises. And speaking exercises, describing things, as it is an spontaneous exercise, the student is going to learn to improvise and to not depend on the notes the student has. And finally, we have these two mistakes which are linked to very interesting because and is about both uh, don't have the subject and they are found in the line 17 and 2. There are mistakes because as I mentioned before, they are the same mistake and the error has been made more than once. There are interlingual mistakes because in Spanish it is not necessary to use subjects sometimes, and it is good. But in English, it is necessary to specify all the time the subject. So it is a confusion with the mother tongue structure. They are both syntactic because it affects the sentence, and it is not morphological because we are not dealing with morphemes. So in the remediation, we found explanation of the topic through learning guides. Here we're using another different way to explain the topic. Online exercise again to correct and to mechanize the rule. Exercises in class to practice with partners. Sometimes the student feel more comfortable with partners than with the teacher. So in that way, the student is going to be learn and correction of the test because the student is going to have the opportunity to correct and to realize the mistakes and the errors the student made. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.